Should we get Amari Cooper? I don't know.
I'm a disgruntled Eagles fan, and we're awesome.
Hey guys, this is me in the future, meaning that today is present day. Originally, I was supposed to upload yesterday, but YouTube decided to not work altogether and it got shut down for like 3 hours. I was actually just about to post this video right when it crashed. It was about 9:15 and I was about to hit the upload button and done with, but then YouTube decided to crash. And I wasn't going to wait all night for it to come back on and upload a video at like 12:30. That would be unfair to you guys and unfair to me because of how late I would be, and considering that I have to go to school next day. It wasn't worth me staying up for that long to upload a single video. So I'm just letting you guys know why I didn't upload yesterday. Now I know I should have uploaded like Saturday or Sunday or Monday, but I just got super busy and was unable to upload those days. So this video is going to be really irrelevant. And then the joke that I'm going to make right about now, right after this clip, is going to be totally worthless. Because I was making a joke, well, you see anyway. I'm just going to say that this upcoming joke is irrelevant. Okay, I'm going to stop rambling and I'm going to let you watch this video. So thanks for watching. Hey guys, sorry that this video is a little late. I know that it's like 5 days after the game. The relevancy of this game probably isn't even there anymore. But I still want to do a recap on this game. You know, at least it's not Wednesday, right? And at least I gave 2 days before the new week of football, right? I mean, I guess that counts for something. You know what? What do I know? All I know is that we beat the living crap out of the Giants just like we should have. This is going to put us on schedule right to the track to another Super Bowl win. Alright, maybe not a Super Bowl or even the playoffs, because it was against the 1-5 Giants, or the 1-4 Giants at the time. The way that we beat the Giants is the way that we need to beat the teams like the Giants, in a blowout fashion. The bad teams that we play, we need to blow out. Because they're unorganized and they're not a complete team. Or at least not as a complete team as we are. Look, all I'm saying is that we found a way to win, and in a blowout fashion. Which I'm super stoked about. We've never had a blowout game this year yet. And I'm very excited that we actually finally got one, even though it's against the Giants. We cleaned up all the little mistakes that we were doing throughout the year. And we didn't make any of those mistakes. Well, except for the offensive line. We were able to clean that up. All the little mistakes that we were cleaning up, like the flags. The run game kicked in. Carson Wentz was able to throw the ball a little bit more. It wasn't that much more time, but at least it was a little bit more. And enough for him to get it down the field. And our defense kicked in. Our defensive line just abbreviated the Giants' offensive line. Yeah, I know the offensive line for the Giants is absolute crap, but still. We were supposed to beat the living crap out of them, and we did. Early in this season, we weren't doing that against the bad teams where we could easily expose them. But this game, we did. And this game could actually throw ourselves back into momentum and give us energy and stokedness, if that's even a word, to go out through the rest of the season and beat some of these great teams. And Mills actually had a very decent game. Yeah, I know that he gave up one deep pass later in the second half, but that deep pass that he gave up didn't really matter. And after he gave up that deep pass, Eli Manning threw his way 3 more times right after that deep pass, because he knew that he could easily expose Jalen Mills. But that wasn't the case this time. Our defensive line was able to get to Eli Manning more, which gave him less time to throw, which our cornerbacks didn't have to actually play at all. Our cornerbacks actually did half decent. I know that there was a few plays that they gave up that were iffy and not really well covered, but you're going to have that from time to time during games, and you can't cover every single ball that comes your way. Widow Small and Corey Clement did an awesome job, even though I think they should have put Corey Clement in way more than they did. But still, Widow Small One and Corey Clement complemented each other very well, and we were actually balanced between the passing and the running game. And Carson Wentz looked like his old self. He threw 3 touchdowns, which looks excellent. I think he has 8 touchdowns to 1 interception this year, which is really awesome, and he's doing better the first 4 games of this year and the first 4 games of last year, and he's doing better throughout all the stats, which I'm really glad that he's actually doing. The one big concern that I had about this game was our offensive line. Jason Peters just got absolutely destroyed in this game. He couldn't cover the blockers coming his way at all. He just got absolutely destroyed, and I think Jason Peters' time is over. I know that I said it a little bit last video, but I think that he should retire on a high note after that Super Bowl win. I just don't think Jason Peters, his old self, either. He's just not looking very good, and I feel like every time we get an offensive flag for offsides, it's always Jason Peters that's getting the call on. He's always moving early, and he's always getting hurt left and right. Even if it's just a few plays into the game or the final seconds of the game, he was always finding a way to get hurt in each game that we played. I feel like his prime is over, and I think his career is over. Now, don't get me wrong. He's still one of the best offensive, not the best offensive linemen in the entire Eagles history, if not the entire NFL, and he will be one of the greatest. It's just that he's getting to his retirement and he's getting really old. I think he's like 36 or 35 years old, and he's just getting to the end of his prime, which is really sad to see because I enjoyed watching him play throughout the years. The play calling was awesome as well. Doug Peterson was playing the right calls at the right times, and they were exceeding. While Jim Schwartz on the defensive side, every call that he was playing was working. The only thing that Jim Schwartz couldn't cover was Saquon Barkley. This actually worries me a lot because we are number one in run defense, but yet that number one defense was not there this game against Saquon. We gave up over 130 yards rushing to Saquon alone, and that's unacceptable if we want to continue to win. That is our only big flaw during this game other than our offensive line. If we clean up the run game a lot more and go back to that number one run defense that we had for so long, I think it's been like a year and a half that we had that title, then we're going to be the perfect and the most complete team. And I feel like we can go far into the playoffs and maybe the Super Bowl if we can keep all of this together. And Jim Schwartz was able to switch around the cornerbacks a lot, switching Mills and Sidney Jones in different schemes and fitting them well and putting them in and out of the nickel. And I feel like that's what we need to succeed in this game and in this season. If we just keep switching them up to where they're actually pretty good at, then I feel like we can do a lot more this season than just a 500 record. I think I said as much as I can say about this game. We beat up on a very bad team, as we should, and we need to keep doing that as much as we can throughout the rest of the season to prove ourselves. We need to dominate this way so that we can have a little bit of chance of going to the Super Bowl. Because the Rams are looking red hot, and they're the number one team to play next. If we dominate just like they are, then we actually have a little chance to beat them if we do play them in the playoffs. I want to segue to our division. Our division is very good. Actually, they're just very bad. Everyone in our division is just plain old bad. I mean, the Cowboys are 3-3. The Giants are 1-5. We're 3-3, and the Redskins are at the top of the division at just 3-2. This division is very much in our hands, but it's going to be a very tight division. I feel like this is going to be the way that it's going to be for the rest of the season. This tight-knit division. It's going to be, we lose a game, we win the game, while Redskins lose a game, win a game. And I feel like this weekend was very important, because if we didn't blow up the Giants like we did, I would be very worried. Because the Cowboys are looking very strong and blowing out the Jaguars, who had the number one defense throughout last year, and I still think they do have a very decent defense this year as well. And the Cowboys just blew them and crushed them away. That was a little worrying to see, because when we do face the Cowboys, I don't want that to happen. And the Cowboys proved themselves again. Now, it was only one game, but still, they blew out the number one defense of the Jaguars. Redskins, on the other hand, they beat another very good team in the Panthers. They're inconsistent as of the rest of the NFC East division. Other than the Giants are just consistently bad. At least that's the only thing that's consistent in our division. The Giants being bad all the time, or at least within the last 2 years. Now, we just need to keep winning. If we keep winning, then I think we can keep up with this division as much as we can. I think there's a stretch later in this season where we just play non-stop division games. I believe that there's a stretch that we play 3 out of 4 games as division games, and we need to win all of them to have any chance. Division games throughout this season are very crucial, because that's going to propel us to the playoffs and maybe the Super Bowl if we can win the tight, close division games. If we don't win the division games, then we're just basically screwed, and this season's just a very wasted season. I think I talked long enough about the division and stuff. All I established was that Redskins are getting a little bit hot and a good comeback from the Saints game. Cowboys are looking red hot after the Jaguars game, and the Eagles are looking red hot against the Giants game. Very good week for the NFC East teams. Now let's get back to this running back situation. Yes, I know I've talked the living crap out of this situation over and over and over again. And I know you're probably tired of hearing this. And I am too, because I actually want the Eagles to make a move anytime now. Le'Veon Bell still didn't show up to practice at the Steelers this week at all, even though it's their bye week, and he should come back this week. This worries me a little bit because I don't know what the heck Le'Veon Bell is doing. No one else knows what Le'Veon Bell is doing. He was supposed to come back this week to the Steelers and start practicing and then play 2 weeks from now because the Steelers have a bye. So no one knows what they're doing, and we're all in the shadows of what's going to happen with Le'Veon Bell. The Eagles are going to make a move for him, or if he's just going to continue playing for the Steelers until Steelers pay him. I have no idea what's happening with Le'Veon Bell. I also don't know what the Eagles are doing for a running back. The top 4 running backs that the Eagles are trying to get interested in, even if it was a little bit, were Le'Veon Bell, Jordan Howard, Sean McCoy, and David Johnson. All 4 wonderful good backs. I know I talked about LeSean McCoy, David Johnson, and Le'Veon Bell last video, but I just want to touch on Jordan Howard a little bit. Jordan Howard is just as good as any of those running backs, and he's still young. This is probably the least likely running back that we're going to get because he's young and the Bears need a running back to complement Mitchell Trubisky. And I don't think that they're going to give up Jordan Howard that easily, and they're going to have to give up a lot for him. So I don't think we're going to go for him. If we do somehow, I think that would be very good to get. I think the best bet for the Eagles to do in this running back situation, due to Jay Ajayi, is to get LeSean McCoy. I know that I was hyping up Le'Veon Bell a crap ton. I still think that we should get him, and I wouldn't be upset if we do. But I think our best bet is LeSean McCoy. I think the fans' reactions would be very genuine and happy with getting LeSean McCoy back. Because I still think that he's very good. He's in that elite running back position. And I think he's going to cost less. And able to get Le'Veon Bell, I think we have to give up a 2nd round pick and a 3rd round pick or something along the lines. Give up one of our defensive players. I don't think that we should give up our defensive players because we're running thin on defense, especially our corner and linebackers and everywhere else. I just think that it's going to cost us to get LeSean McCoy, and it's going to bring back those Eagle memories because he said it himself. He shouldn't have been traded when we had him originally 4 years ago or however long it was. I just feel like he would be the best fit. I feel like we can achieve the more. I know that adding a running back isn't going to propel us to the Super Bowl, but I'm pretty sure that it will help elevate us to that next level and maybe compete with the St. Louis Rams. No, I mean the LA Rams, sorry. I know that was a bad joke, I'm sorry. I will never make that kind of joke again. To sum up this video is to subscribe, like, and comment. That's basically all what I talked about this episode, and thanks for watching.